The Jacksonville Jaguars got better with the first round of the NFL draft. They made their original number one selection. They got a baller, they got an athletic freak, and then they came in last second like a Navy SEAL, snatched their guy up out of that first round and said, I want a fifth-year option on that guy because he's definitely not making it to 33. Gave up a couple picks, a fourth and a sixth, along with number 33. And I'm very excited to get into these guys. I'm very excited to see them play, and I'm very excited to see what they do for the long term of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, starting off, what do you guys think of these two selections? What do you think about the Trayvon Walker pick? What do you think about the Devin Lloyd pick? I love both of them. I think both of them fill huge needs for the Jaguars. They have two massive needs. Well, they no longer do, but going into the draft, they had two huge needs, and in my opinion, they addressed them both. They needed somebody to play opposite of Josh Allen, and they needed somebody to play next to Foye Oluokun. They did both of those things with some athletic freaks of nature. Walker, he blew every metric you can probably out of the water. He's bigger than this guy. He's heavier than this guy. He runs faster than this guy. I've never seen a guy that had a 9.99 relative athletic score. Trayvon Walker did. I'd love to see where that ranks. If I had to guess, I'm guessing it's probably top 10, top 11, top 12, somewhere in that range. In his time at Georgia, the biggest knock that a lot of fans have had on this pick was that he wasn't a menace rushing the passer. He wasn't. But what he didn't do against in pass rushing, he absolutely picked up in run stuffing. Marcel Darius was a third overall pick. He had a little bit of a pass rush game to him, nothing crazy. That's kind of how I'm looking at this one. He's obviously a little bit lighter than Darius, but he's a lot faster, and he has the ability to run with a running back if they so choose to use him in that way. Now, Walker, he could be the proverbial answer to a question a lot of Jaguar fans had, middle of free agency. Are the Jaguars going to bring back Calais Campbell? I think they just brought back a younger Calais Campbell. All of the metrics and the skill sets are there. Campbell is an incredible run stuffer with the ability to get after the passer. Walker, an incredible run stuffer with the ability to get after the passer. Obviously, every player is different. No two players are the same. I've heard comps to Reggie White. I'm giving a comp of Calais Campbell for him. He could be if we're hoping for Reggie White and we get Calais Campbell, is it a bad thing? I don't think so. I absolutely I think that's a very fair comp for him, and I'm excited to see if he meets that expectation for me. Now, not only does he have that impact on the defensive line, he can move around formations. You can back him off the line a little bit. You can let him run with a running back getting out of the backfield. He is that good. Trades were flying all over the place in the teens. And even into the early 20s, there was teams moving. There was teams jockeying for position. The big mover, I think, of the night was the Lions from 32 to 12. 20 spots. That's huge. But I remember I'm sitting there. I want to take you back. I'm sitting there. Pick 21 goes off the board. 22 goes off the board. 23 goes off the board. And I'm just thinking, I'm talking to my wife, and I go, when are these guys going to make a move and go get somebody? Go get a great player. Go get somebody who you think is an A-plus player. And I truly didn't think that they were going to do it. They proved me wrong. The Jaguars called up the Tampa Bay Bucks and said, here's my Trent Baalke person. Hey, Tampa Bay, give me pick 27. It's a terrible Trent Baalke impersonation. You come here for the news, not the impersonations. But they trade picks 33, 106, and 180 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the 27th overall pick. Now, overall, this isn't a huge loss. A lot of people are upset that you lose the ability to you're on the clock for them all day long. From 33, from the start of the second and third round, and then on day 3, start of the fourth round. You lose those 2 picks. I honestly don't think at this point of your scouting you should need all day to, you're just setting yourself up for paralysis by analysis. That's a big fantasy football thing. And the Jaguars would just be drowning in paralysis by analysis if they did that. But let's get on to this player, Devin Lloyd, linebacker out of Utah. Think of a linebacker that does it all. You want a linebacker that gets sacks? He had 15 of them. You want a tackling machine? He had 256 in 3 years. And he had a very light year in 2020. You want interceptions? Devin Lloyd has 5 of them. You know what else he has? He has an average return of 20 yards off those interceptions. and 3 touchdowns. Over half the interceptions he gets, he takes back for touchdowns when he was at Utah. Whew. That's, now, tackles for loss is a stat. That gets a lot lost in translation a lot because you're having to do math. It's not just a quick and easy stat you can look at and go, oh, he had 150 tackles. Oh, that running back had 1,000 yards. You're kind of having to do math. You're having to take into account the sacks along with the tackles for loss, obviously, because sacks do count for tackles for losses. Now, he had a bunch of tackles for loss while he was at Utah. He had 15 sacks while he was at University of Utah. And you take all those out, he still had 28 tackles for loss on his resume while he was playing for the Utes. He gets after the backfield in a big way, whether he's harassing your quarterback, whether he's harassing, a sweep play, a draw play. Whoever is back there and has the ball, it is just go, go, go. I'm going to eat that man alive, and I love watching Devin Lloyd harass the backfield. I've been trying to watch a little bit on him, and very, very, very happy. The Jacksonville Jaguars defense got considerably better in the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft. Considerably better. They had their 2 biggest needs addressed. Someone to play opposite of of Josh Allen, and then, like I said, someone to play that Mike linebacker position for the next 12 years. Trayvon Walker and Devin Lloyd fill those holes, and hey, dare I say I'm an optimistic Jags fan and say they're both going to be perennial Pro Bowlers before you know it. Reincarnation of Saxonville. Here we come. I'm going to just overhype myself so that way whenever we go 5-12 this next year, I come crashing back down. But the summer is going to be a great time. I'm going to be riding high. But I want to know what you guys grade this draft. I'm giving it an A. Walker and Hutch, obviously Walker is going to be the big deterrent for a lot of people. With their grading, I can imagine a lot of people wanted Hutch. You get a freak athlete at pass rushing as a pass rusher, and you get one of the, if not the best linebackers in the draft for, chump change, really. You gave up a 4th, and you gave up a 6th. I'm okay with that. And you get the 5th-year option on Devin Lloyd. I absolutely love the 2 picks. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, and go Jaguars.
How about them Jags?
Come on, Joe! Ah!